Hey, shalom to you all. This is Lenzel on Keep His Commandments. So I did want to touch on something that I did initially talk about on the very first page that I did have on YouTube. My first page was called Yahuwah's Troops. That page is no longer existent. I removed it for other reasons. I kind of go into that in the very first video on this channel. But long story short, I am in the United States military, as you guys can probably tell. The ones that have been on this page, most of the appearances are in my uniform, okay? It's because I'm actually in the United States military, okay? I'm a staff sergeant, about 7 years of service, will be 8 in August, and please do not thank me for the service, okay? So one question that has came to me a couple times, especially to the level of understanding that I'm at in these biblical truths, in the walk with Christ, in the walk with Messiah, is how could you still be in the United States Army? How can you serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob being in the army? Lenzel, you know that the army is a wicked system. It's a wicked business. Do you know what the United States Army, all the matters under the sun, you name it, I more than likely know about it to an extent. Of course. So Lenzel, why do you participate in that? Why don't you just get out and do, I don't know, whatever? All these things I've thought about, okay? Some of these things have been questioned, okay? Now, am I a United States Army pro advocate? No, I am not. That's why I'm not a recruiter. Okay, I used to do a little bit of recruiting when I was in the National Guard before I went active duty. So I was in the North Dakota Army National Guard. I was and did do some recruiting on ADOS orders. Okay, and I led a lot of people into enlistment. Okay, so there's people that I referred to join the National Guard. Okay, now knowing what I know now, I don't think, unless I'm bringing that individual up and setting them up for success, I wouldn't do so. I guess I wouldn't encourage, I wouldn't or would not encourage anyone to, just because I know what I have to go through with this level of understanding on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so why am I still in the United States Army? So here's a couple of things, and I'd like to point them out both physically, but then also on a spiritual aspect. The physical aspect of it is that this job that I do have, I do, just a back brief, I enlisted in 2021 in the United States active duty. 2017 I was in the National Guard as a military police officer. Okay, did 3 years in the Guard, and then this is my 4th year, going on 5. In the active duty. Now I'm a unit supply specialist, 92 Yankee. Okay, so I do supply. I'm here at Fort Eustis, Virginia. Okay, and I'm at the IMT. Okay, initial military training. I'm the G4. Okay, so I do logistics. So I forgot where I was going with that, but yeah, that's my job in the United States military. Why I'm still in there is because on a physical aspect, the job does take care of what I need to take care of. Okay? Now, I'm not discrediting or discouraging other options. I could get out the Army or the military, doesn't matter what you want to call it. I could get out and do coaching. I could do teaching, or, try to have my own business or what have you. Whatever's under the sun. Okay? The United States Army, or the DoD, does provide me enough income for my family and for my wife not to work. Okay? So our belief, as much as we could kind of do it, we want to keep our children away from the public school. Okay? We want to keep them away from indoctrinations. Okay? So we're doing our best to homeschool or keep them in-house, so that we can give them the correct doctrine. Okay, so the being in the military allows that to be a benefit on our behalf. So my wife and I both agree that this is what we want to do. Cool. This job does allow us to do so. Now, I was in the military before we came to that understanding, so this was just something that we came to realization on a few years ago, coming into the walk with Christ. Excuse me. So the job provides financially, okay? Not that that's the end-all be-all, because money doesn't save us. Gold and silver will not save you in the day of the Lord, the day of the Most High, okay? Gold and silver will not save you. It will not save me. So money doesn't mean anything according to salvation. But in this system that we live in, if you have a job that you get by, like I get to get by, then it is what it is, okay? But Linzel, they you know, the army kills people. You know that you're providing a service to Satan. You know that you're serving wickedness. I was also told, just to let you guys know, I was told that I serve two masters, being in the United States military. Okay, and when that was presented to me, I did believe that. Okay, I did believe that. Not even just being in the military, but even to an extent of having a job in general. Okay, that any job that you work, unless you're your own boss, you're going to have people that manage you. You're going to have people that oversee you. There's going to be someone that's the owner of the company and you're just working for the man. It's the same thing in the military. I have bosses, okay? Their bosses have bosses, so on and so forth. Okay, so whether I worked at Target as a sales rep or a cashier, who still pays my bills? Right? If I was doing HVAC or I was a carpenter, who still pays my bills? So the question was, do I really serve two masters? Because under that definition, everyone that has a job serves two masters. So when I was in Hawaii, my experience was being in the military but not having a faith right away. I came into the walk under the time frame of I don't even know if this would get censored in this way, but in that time of 2020. Okay? And they were forcing us to do things that we should not, I believe we should not be partaking of. Okay? And I took a stand. This is before Christ. I took a stand. Something got in my heart and said, do not. This is wrong. This is wrong. Don't be partaker of that. So I didn't. Long story short, put in the religious exemption. Got denied. Submitted my appeal. And then the DOD no longer mandated that at the end of 2022, going into 2023. So since 2022, I have not taken any immunizations, being in the military, which it's required. I have all the ones that you had to take at basic training, all that. But coming into the truth, I said, no more. No more. And I can get into it later why I don't anymore. Okay? But during that process, I was able to find the one Redeemer. I was able to find the one who saves. I was able to find the one who exists. I was able to find the one that gives truth. And that's Abba Father, the Most High. Coming into the baptism in 2022 of faith unto obedience, that's how I understand it. Faith unto obedience. That salvation comes faith first. That faith will exercise obedience to the Father. Faith unto obedience that will exercise good works that are written in this book. Okay. Abba Father shows us what righteousness and unrighteousness looks like. Abba Father has shown us what pleases him and what displeases him. Abba Father shows what is holy and he shows what's unholy. Okay? So by faith, I believe we have to keep the law, statute, judgments, and commandments. By faith, I do believe we have to keep the laws, statute, judgments, and commandments. In the military, that's very difficult to do. It's difficult because you may be in a unit where you're constantly in the field. You may be in a unit where, right, you've got to work staff duty or CQ on these days. And the trial in Hawaii, being at 25th Infantry Division, challenged a lot of what I actually believe. My faith. Do I actually have faith? Do I actually have faith that I'm going to keep his Sabbath day knowing these circumstances? Am I going to keep his appointed times while being under these circumstances? Am I going to be partial with my belief under these circumstances? It was rough, it was tough, but it built up a solid vessel that I'm still working on today, but it did show me a lot. It has proved me a lot. So why I'm in the United States military? Well, one of the reasons that I have still chosen to stay in this gig is because we are to be the lights of the world. We are to be the salt and the lights of the world. Now some could be like, no man, you can do that somewhere else. Let's turn to John 17. And here's another thing too, just off topic a little bit. I'll get back to John 17. All right, I wrote it down here. I know people take harsher positions on certain things. People take sharper positions on certain things. And I'm not saying that they're wrong taking a sharper edge on a specific conversation, a topic, a commandment, a ordinance, okay? But there are weightier matters of the law. There are weightier matters of the Torah. And I believe that this is something that requires much wisdom. Okay? Because on the surface you could be like, yeah, you need to get the hell out of there. But then, in the same breath, I'm like, Father, what about these people? If not me, then who? If not now, then when? If not me, then who? If I have some understanding, I'm not saying I have all understanding. I'm not saying I have all prophecy. But if I have something to offer in accordance with his word, then let it be. John 17:9 through 18. Okay, it says, and this is the words of the Son of the Most High God. Okay, he says, I pray for them. We pray for who's he praying for? I pray not for the world, but for them which you has given me, for they are thine, or they're mine. Well, who are we? His? Are we Christ's? Verse 10, and all mine are thine, and all thine are mine. He's talking to the Father. And I am glorified in them. And now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I come to you. Holy Father, keep through thy own name those whom you has given me, that they may be one as we are one. While I was with them in the world, I kept them in my name. Or I kept them in thy name, in his name. And we get to go over that name doesn't just mean, right, the tetragrammaton. The name doesn't just mean the pronunciation. The name does not just mean how you say his name. It's what the Father has. It's what the Father is his name. Okay? Verse 12 again, while I was with them in the world, I kept them in my name, in thy name. Those that you gave me I kept, and none of them is lost, but the son of perdition, that the scriptures might be fulfilled. And now come I to thee, and these things I speak in the world, that they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves. I have given them thy word, and the world hath hated them. How are you hated and disliked if you're not in the world? It's impossible. Okay? It's impossible. I have given them your word, and the world hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. I pray not that you should take them out of the world, but that you keep them from the evil. Okay? The Messiah prays on our behalf not to take us out, but to deliver us from evil. Okay? The Son of the Most High prays that he does not eject us out of the world, but to keep us from evil, to keep us from the wicked one. Be in the world, but not of it. What does it mean to be of it? They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Sanctify them through your truth. Your word is truth. Okay? As you have sent me into the world, even so I have also sent them into the world. So it is our duty when we're in our positions, when we're in our workforce, to do what? To do the Father's will, as the Son of the Most High did when he was in the world. Okay? Easier said than done, right? Easier said than done. Let's turn to Matthew 5, 13 through 16. Matthew 5, 13 through 16 says, Ye are the salt of the earth. You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost his Savior, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under the foot of men. We are the preservers. We are the salt of the earth. Something that does not have salt on it, it's bland. But something that has salt on it, when you taste it, it tastes better. It tastes good. Salt is also a preserver. It's like a double entendre. Ye are the light of the world. If you're not in the world, how can you be a light of it? If you're not in the world, how can you be a light in the world? If you're not in it. Okay? Well, I'd argue it's very difficult to do that. It's very difficult to do that. I'm not saying everyone needs to join the United States military. Like I said in the beginning, I think that I wouldn't encourage anyone to do it, because you're coming into a position. You're gonna be check it out. I know people do not like what I'm doing there. You see this? People hate my face. That's fine. Because I'm here to try to keep the commandments. Because I love Abba Father. Why aren't you taking vaccines? Because I love the Son of the Most High. I love the Father. Back when I was in Hawaii, you know that God will just forgive you. That's something Satan would just say, right? That I know better to keep these commandments, and then just say, oh, well, God will forgive me. I'm going to break these commandments. I'm going to break the Sabbath day. I'm going to not keep his feast because God will forgive me. Give me scripture where that instance is authorized. Give me instances in the Bible where someone knows the truth. Give me an instance in the Bible that says that they know the truth and you can break the commandments and as if I can just ask for forgiveness and then as if nothing ever happened. Let's turn to Hebrews. Hebrews 10:26. It says, "For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth." This is the sharpest scripture when it comes to our walk. Verse 26, "For if we sin willfully." What does it mean to sin willfully? Let's look at it. What's the I have like a little Strong's Concordance. No, I'm not saying Strong's is some perfect definition. So willfully means voluntarily, willing, of one's own accord. If we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no sacrifice for sins. That's why this doctrine of see, he'll just forgive you. You can do whatever you want, he'll forgive you. But what about, and I agree with you that all sin is forgiven, with the exception of blasphemy against the Spirit. But this point would be blasphemy against the Spirit, because the Spirit has revealed, according to John 16, sin, righteousness, judgment. It would be blasphemy against the Spirit to know that I'm sinning willingly, having the knowledge of the truth. That's why this is so paramount. And that's why being in this position is hard. Because my schedule is not always guaranteed. My hours are not always guaranteed. Okay? At any moment, they can hit me with whatever. Anyone that's served in the military would know. Okay? but I'm there for his people. I want to be there for his people. Oh, Linzel, you know you can get out the army and make 6 figures doing logistics. Sure. But do I get to be around people? Do I get to see hundreds of faces a day? It says in verse 27, but a certain fearful looking for the judgment of judgment and fury indignation, which shall devour the adversary. He, verse 28, he that despised Moses' law died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses. Okay? It says, he that despised Moses' law died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses. Of how much sore punishment, suppose ye, shall he be that thought worthy, who had trodden under foot the Son of God, and hath counted the blood of the covenant wherewith he was sacrificed or sanctified unholy thing, and have done despite unto the Spirit of grace. For us to receive Christ, I'm sorry, this is getting off on a whole other tangent, but for us to receive Christ, to receive the Son of God, to receive the Son of the Most High, as some people would say, Jesus Christ, right? It's as if we sin willfully with the knowledge of the truth. There's no remission. There's no forgiveness of that. There is no sacrifice. There is not a sacrifice for that transgression. According to this precept. Now, are we still going to make mistakes? 100%. It says in the book of John that anyone that says they're without sin is a liar and the truth is not in them. I'm not saying that we're not going to make mistakes. But if the position comes, hey brother, you know you gotta come in this weekend on the Shabbat. Or hey, here's this, you gotta eat this or else. Or hey, Lenzel, you gotta take your vaccinations or else. And I just submit to it. What do I really believe then? What is my faith in? How consistent is my faith if I believe I can just do whatever I want? That's not what the Bible says. That's not what the Bible teaches. Because the Father is no respecter of persons. And it says, he that despised Moses' law died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses. Of how much more sore punishment, suppose you, shall he be thought worthy, who hath trodden under foot the Son of God, and hath counted the blood of the covenant wherewith he was sanctified an unholy thing, and have done despite unto the Spirit of grace. It's not a game. The walk with Christ is not a game. This is not Yahtzee. It's not Connect 4. Verse 14, you are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and give it light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in the heaven. That's the point. To still be a good witness to his people. Okay. One last thing I wanted to bring up was this is for the other sect of religion. Okay, this is to the other sect of people that teach, get out of Babylon, get out of the system, get out of And to an extent, they're right. It says, "Come out of her, my people, lest you share her sins, unless you receive her plagues." But Babylon, Babylon is a doctrine. Babylon is a religious trap. And maybe I should talk about that later. Babylon is not you going working your 9 to 5. It's slavery. It's bondage. We got to pay taxes. We got to pay rent. We got to pay the water. We got to pay the sewer. Whatever your bills are, right? You can call it Babylon, whatever. You can call it unto Egypt too. But when it says to come out of her, my people, what are you coming out of? So these scriptures are for the people that are teaching foolishness. Teaching people that you can't be saved if you have a birth certificate or a social security number. Okay? Those people are hypocrites. Hypocrites. Proclaiming that they're not in the world, or they're not of the world, right? But then redeem and reap the benefits of it. Hypocrisy. Don't say that you're not in it. Don't say I have nothing to do with the world, but yet you're reaping the benefits thereof. It's hypocrisy. Don't listen to these people. Jeremiah 27. Now again, context. This is during the king Jehoiakim, son of Josiah. Okay? This is before they were taken captive. Well, actually, as a matter of fact, King Nebuchadnezzar was already doing campaigns taking Israelites, more specifically the tribe of Judah, to Babylon. Okay? At this point, there's already people in Babylon. But I want to read this because this is biblical, man. This is what happened to us being disobedient. In the beginning of the reign of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, came this word unto Jeremiah from the Most High, saying, Thus saith Yah to me, make thee bonds and yokes, and put them upon thy necks, and send them to the king of Edom, and to the king of Moab, and to the king of the Ammonites, and to the king of Tyrus, and to the king of Zidon, by the hand of messengers which come to Jerusalem unto Zedekiah, or which come to Jerusalem unto King Zedekiah of Judah. So this is a prophecy that Jehoiakim received, but was then even going to be executed even in the times of Zedekiah, which was the last king of Judah. And commanded them and to say unto their masters, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel. Thus shall you say unto your masters, I have made the earth, the man and the beast that are upon the ground, by my great power and by my outstretched arm, and have given it unto whomever seemed me met unto me. And now I have given all these lands into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant. And the beast of the field have I given him also to serve him. For the ones that may not know, Nebuchadnezzar, okay, at his time was the most wicked man upon the face of the earth. And he's saying that Judah is going to put yokes upon thy necks and bonds. And what is he going to do? And all nations shall serve him. All nations shall serve him. All nations shall serve him. And his sons, and his sons' sons, until the very time of his land come. And the many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of him. And it shall come to pass that the nation and kingdom which will not serve the same Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, and that will not put their neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon, that nation, that people, will I punish, saith the Lord, with the sword and with famine and with pestilence, until I have consumed them by his hand. Okay? It was ordained for Judah and the rest of the nations to serve this king. And the ones that didn't, it said, famine, sword, pestilence, until I have consumed them by his hand. And then it says in verse 9, therefore hearken not. So here's the instruction. Serve the king of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. Okay? The instruction from false prophets, therefore hearken not ye to your prophets, nor your diviners, nor your dreamers, nor your enchanters, nor your sorcerers, which speak unto you, saying, you shall not serve the king of Babylon. Basically, it's like, to an Israelite, it'd be like, whoa, 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 whoa. We serve the Most High. We serve the King of Kings. We got King Zedekiah. We got Jehoiakim. We got... What do you mean we're going to put our necks under the yoke of King Nebuchadnezzar now? We are in this predicament because we did not listen to the real prophets, but would rather listen to false prophets, false messiahs, diviners, sorcerers, dreamers, and enchanters. Israel loves that stuff. We'd much rather hear things that profit us, quote, quote, profit us, and not the things that seem like this is a hard pill to swallow. What do you mean we got to serve the... What are you saying? We're going to go under his yoke, this wicked man here? The Most High saying, yeah, you are. And you're going to serve him for a long time. Right? Therefore, verse 9 again, therefore hearken not ye to your prophets, nor your diviners, nor your dreamers, nor your enchanters, nor your sorcerers, which speak unto you, saying, you shall not serve the king of Babylon. For they prophesy a lie unto you, to remove you far from your land, and that I should drive you out, and you shall perish. They're lying. Don't listen to people like that. It's especially it's people that know this thing. Well, I should say, know the thing. But what about when this happens? Or what about when you pull these scriptures up? Now again, I understand that this was a different time. But the Most High does not change. Since this, we've always been in captivity. Since this, and even before that, I would even argue, Israel, the house of Israel, and the house of Judah, slaves. But we would rather listen to false prophets and liars and sorcerers and dreamers about all kinds of stupidness. But it says, but the nation that bring their necks under the yoke of the king of Babylon and serve him, those will I let remain still in their own land, saith the Most High, and they shall till it and dwell therein. Do you want to know what ended up happening? Let's just take a wild guess. Do we believe that they listened to Jeremiah, or did they listen to the false prophets? The reason why I'm saying this is because I fell into this trap. Okay? So why are you still in the United States military? Sorry, I went on a whole little tangent. But to be a light to the world. To be in the world and not of it. That the Messiah, the Son of the Most High, said that I pray that you take them not out of the world, but keep them from evil. Remember his prayer. Lead us not into trial or temptation, but deliver us from evil. That's the goal. To be delivered from wickedness, unrighteousness, uncleanness, pollution. So that's why I'm still there. It does provide for the family. I'm not gonna forsake that. Okay? I'm not gonna pretend that it doesn't. Or that it does. Is it convenient for what I'm trying to do? It is. But when it comes down to breaking the commandments, I don't do what the army does. As far as I understand. I also want to let other people know that just because that you work your Costco job or you have your own business, anyone that says that they're not part of this thing is a liar, and the truth is not in them. Even if you have your own business, you make money. Who does the money belong to? Give to Caesar's what is Caesar's. It's Caesar's money. Give to the Most High what's the Most High's. Remember when Messiah says, my kingdom is not of this world. So that money, whose money is it? Well, ultimately, the Most High allowed me to have the money, but right now, it's just a bunch of digits on a screen, as far as I can see. I look at my Navy Fed account, it has a number, and I just believe that that's what it is. It's a made up thing. Those numbers, I have no idea to validate or verify that that's even what I have or don't have. It's just digits on a screen. You know? So, I hope that this makes sense. I hope that I'm not in the military killing people. Okay? I'm not in the military giving people vaccines. I'm not in the military, right? What people think. I do logistics. I order people supplies. I do property management. Accountability. I'm not out there downrange shooting innocent people. Okay. Now, does the army have its benefits? It has its benefits. It has its pros. I'm not going to lie to you. It takes care of me. Well, ultimately, the Most High takes care of me. Ultimately, the Most High takes care of me. So just because someone says, flee the Babylon system, flee the religion, flee the false doctrine, flee false messiahs, flee false teachings of Christ, flee that. That's Babylon. It'd be a contradiction here to say, hold on, come out of her, my people, come out of Babylon, but yet he's over here sending them into Babylon. So what does it really mean? The Most High is not a hypocrite here. He knew the end from the beginning. So what are we being taught to flee? Come out of false doctrine. Come out of believing that you can do whatever the heck you want. Come out of, I only have to believe. Or, I'm just saved by the faith. I'm saved by the blood of Christ. And not do anything with it. Come out of that. I can eat whatever I want. That's not of Christ. Flee false doctrine. Flee false messiahs. Flee from, I can do whatever I want. Flee from these sects of religion that teach you false messiahs, false doctrines, false Christs. Flee that. Will you still be in the world and not of it? 100%. Until he comes, this is the condition. It is what it is. But hopefully that made a little bit of sense. But I love you guys. Keep his commandments. This is Lenzel, and I look forward to it. So, okay, I do want to get into some more studies, topics. One I'm working on, it's going to just be going through the book of Deuteronomy, starting in chapter 4, and kind of establishing the belief a little bit, because it's important to know, if you're watching me, to know what I believe. I don't think it should be this oblivious thing or unknown thing, what I believe. So we're going to start in Deuteronomy chapter 4, and we're going to establish, what do we believe as followers of Christ? What is the doctrine? And I'm not saying I have it all right. I don't have the perfect doctrine. I don't have a seamless doctrine. I'll put my hands up. I'll be the first one to admit that my doctrine's not perfect, because I don't know everything. I'm bound to have some error. It's some mistakes in my understanding. Or in the understanding, I should say. So I do want to do that. And then I also want to present on this channel the biblical history accounts, because I love that I've been diving into Jeremiah and all these books, but what about Judges, Samuel, 1st, 2nd Kings? These books compose a lot of the Old Testament. So let's get into them. So hopefully I can present some of that too, and Yah willing, it's done. Okay? But until the next video, shalom.